I'd like to applaud and compliment the TEDxIIMRaipur guys for coming out with a fantastic theme for this year's TEDx. Thoughts, actions, and beyond. Can you put our hands together for this brilliant theme? Right. Okay. Actions and beyond. Let me take a check. How many Gujaratis or Marwadis here? Oh, I told you they are everywhere in the world. Even if you go to Africa, they'll be there, right? When I talk of Gujaratis or Marwadis, they begin with beyond first. And when I talk of beyond, I'm talking about money here, right? When I go to other parts of the country, people ask me, Akash, what would you do in your training? What is your training spec sheet like? But in Gujarat, the first question that gets asked to me is, hey Akash bhai, 2 ghanta bolega kitna lega? Any Punjabis here? Yeah, they're also everywhere, right? You go everywhere. For Punjabis, in the thoughts, actions, and beyond, action comes first. And then they handle the repercussions, that is a beyond, and in the end they think, what did I do? For example, Sunny Deol, right? Or something like that, right? So, in fact, talking about Sunny reminds me of Sunny Leone also. In fact, had you called her as a TEDx speaker, she would have been a better idea worth spreading. Right, And and when you talk of thoughts, action, and beyond, she would have really espoused the 1/3 of your theme today, that's action. Because she just believes in action, and the beyond and the thoughts happen in some part of the boys' hostel somewhere in India, right? Right. Right. Okay. Coming to more serious things, I guess we are time machines. Man is a time machine because our thoughts are always in the past. Our mind is always in the future, but our bodies are living in the present. We think so much. It's happening. At times, it leads to some 4 or 5 thought attacks, in a single day. I'm not going to share my story with you today. I'm sure you can always go to my website and check on my story. Today, I'm going to share with you one of my most profound learnings and one of my most profound observations that I had in my career all these years. And what I learned was that there are only 2 kinds of thoughts that people make. That people think. They think only 2 kinds of thoughts. The first kind of thought that people think are junk thoughts. And majority janta does that. 99% of the people think junk thoughts. And the second kind of thoughts which people think are awesome thoughts. Very few percentage of people think awesome thoughts. When I'm talking about the junk thoughts, they're practically of 2 kinds. The first kind of junk thoughts are the overly emotional, negative or cynical thoughts that we normally do because mind attracts negativity the most, right? The second kind of junk thoughts is a new category of thoughts that started happening to us recently. It is the stories of the marketeers. It is the people who want to convince you with their own thoughts, and we consume their stories with the latest trends. And we might have grown into an adult, but trust you for me, when it comes to stories, we are all children. Right? Let me take a few examples. For example, when I go into the market and purchase a 5,000 rupees ka Nike ka juta, I feel so wow. I feel so branded. I feel so chic, stylish. I want to tell my friends I did that. I consumed that story. When it's written on there, just do it. I just did it. Right? Although the same shoe would have been manufactured in China or Taiwan for just $500, but I paid 5,000 for it. I go to a Starbucks coffee shop and I end up paying 250 rupees for coffee, I feel amazing. I want to tell the world, hi, here I'm at Starbucks. This coffee is amazing. Stories we're consuming. There are thousands of takers for the story that, you can bribe God if you want to get something done in your life. God, get me into an IM and come to Vaishno Devi. Right. And in thousands of takers for those stories. There's a spiritual babas today. They're giving you funny stories and lakhs of takers for those stories. In fact, the new branch of the director of TEDxIIMRaipur is sitting here. I would recommend to MBA spirituality. Dare to think beyond. So many stories are gathering. In fact, I believe that should I spray an Axe deodorant on myself, I'll be able to manage women per square feet around me, right? Or should I put in a Tata Sky, my life would become Jingalala, right? In fact, you guys are brilliant people. Cracked the toughest exam in the country to get into an IIM. That's because you also got convinced about a story that should I get into an IIM, My placements would be fantastic, and my matrimonial issues would come to an end. Right? However, however, coming here, did you realize they only start? Right? Someone else is giving a story in Delhi that dare to think, and thousands of people are consuming his story also. Right? 90% of the B school pass outs, they never do business. I wonder called a business school. Right? In fact, what is the point I'm trying to make in here? The point I'm trying to make in here is that it's all about somewhere is selling you his or her thoughts every second minute. Right? And it is only because that we're consuming, we're not filtering the thoughts that are coming to us, becoming average or mediocre. Right? Trust wow or romantic or sexy. It is fuzzy and right? Don't let someone's marketing or an emerging trend consume your mind. Look at the IM people sitting out here. I'm sure that the best careers, the day zero placement companies are the investment bank. But I believe that if you do 4 years of engineering, and 2 years of MBA, and then you get into investment banking, it's like 4 years of swimming, 2 years of running, and then you're trying to become a pilot. Right? So, I'm not saying that there's a problem with you. Not with you. The problem is that, our education system does not have a personality. Our course curriculums, that we study right through our careers, I'm sorry to say with due regard, they are unrealistic, repetitive, boring, and right? No one is teaching us how to set goals. No one is teaching us how to impress people. No one is teaching us how to raise money from the market. No one is teaching us how to make an elevator minutes. Right? No one is teaching us how to manage the days that will happen to us when we go out. That achievers do. That's why the achievers, they say, screw it. I'm going to design my own life, my own patterns to live my life. I'm going to very soon get in which suits me. Right? Back to my own life, almost 13 years back, I didn't have any credentials. I was at the bottom of the pyramid in terms of credentials. I did not have a book. I did not have a PhD degree. My qualifications match the kind of things I'm doing. I didn't have a website, blog. I didn't have an elite client list. I didn't have contacts in the industry. But there's something which I thought I always had, belief. Something within me told me that every boy could do something, could create, help people solve the problems in their lives, could add value to the world. And I started doing. I didn't know what I was doing, but I started doing. Right? What is the point I'm trying to make in here? Making here to the people, beautiful people, wonderful people sitting out here is that just because you have an interest or a hobby, that would not, just by keeping only an interest or hobby or passion, become successful. You need to put in massive to convert that interest into a developed skill. Because people will not pay you money for your average skill. People will not pay you something for your blunt skill set. They pay you for your superlative and superior skill set. Massive actions. Sharpen your skill set. Don't blame your external circumstances or environment for that. If you have an awesome skill set, success is incidental to happen. It will happen in 1 or 2 years. You have to spend not 3 or 4 years, but a decade with your superior skill set for the world to take notice of. To develop a thought leadership for the world to recognize you doing something, and then the world will pay you, and then you make awesome money. Right? Don't go by what the trend is. According to me, trend is remove the alphabet T and R, and it is because 80% of it gotten consumed. It's about heart-centric life. And what I'm observing is that why is it that all this happening, that people are still at thoughts? Why is it that we're suffering from a chronic fatigue as we live our lives in a state of perpetual anxiety? I guess the ethic bigger and faster has forced us to expend more energy than we can renew. Our own lives, in retrospect, we spend more energy than and the demands are continuously increasing on us. That's why we feel weak. That's why our mind becomes weak and it becomes a magnet for junk thoughts, awesome thoughts. Look at your routines, When we how do we do all this? The energy demands that come to us. We overeat, eat when we're not feeling hungry. We consume so many cups of coffee, right? Some people, the men, they go and have alcohol at the end of the day, right? Smoke it out. I guess these are nothing but a misguided efforts to calm and comfort ourselves. Others go by the TV and see TV. TV is nothing but a numbing effect rather than rejuvenating effect or a renewing effect. We love our technologies, the iPads, the mobile laptops, more than we love even some of our relatives. These technologies have overwhelmed us. When we try to sleep at the end of the day, thinking about today's mistakes and tomorrow's demands. When we get up in the morning, next morning, without exercising, we get consumed and sucked up into the same routine next day, the same rat race. I'm sorry, but our generation lost the ability to feel rested. What's the point of you conquering an Everest if your mind... Right? I went to a saloon in South Delhi saloon. I went up, typical South Delhi auntie, right? She was sitting it was a unisex saloon. I didn't go to a ladies saloon, right? So she was sitting on a comfortable chair and air conditioner, and she had that pura thing draped around her, and the light, I don't know what they put, the ladies, I don't know what they do, and two on the eyes. And suddenly her mobile buzzes. She takes up the cucumber piece, replies, puts back the cucumber piece. And it's every 3 or 4 minutes. I went to a friend who died, I went to a funeral. 20% of the people were using, right? Practically, almost everyone around us is wanting to be more aggressive, be more assertive, be an extra. Ladies and gentlemen, try for your own self. Your fun, your motivation shall be much more when you do not. Slow is better than fast. Freshness, be more centered in life. Much more in life, right? I'm not saying that you become secluded or become alone in your personality. Definitely become secluded and be alone for some time. I do it and I find great fun and value in it. Right? There are times, there are 3 months at least in a year, when I switch off my TV, I don't see TV, I don't invite my friends. Mobile phones, please. Right? Make sure that I don't carry people around. I don't discuss people. I'm all alone in that time, And what it does to me, that it allows me to highest virtues or abilities. It allows me to concentrate on my own self. It allows me to get my highest, biggest ideas. I think how I can contribute to my believers. Right? The same thing I'm wanting you to do. You owe it to your own, that alone time for your own self. Time, let your gifts and pour them into the world. We're living in a time when unnecessary things in the world have become our biggest necessities. Right? Life is not about things. I guess life is just about doing those things, but doing them really, really well. For me, the remaining 16 or 17 things are nothing but attractions. Simplify your life. Reduce your junk attractions. Gradually become so discerning that you begin to bunk the junk. Choose your thoughts. Choose progressive and thoughts instead of irrational and subjective. Today, decide whether you want awesome thoughts actually we're talking of. Choose awesome thoughts, them from an average thought, or I call it thought. Have that self-control within. Every time you begin to lose your self-control, just remember Sunny Leone's cameraman. Control, right? Life is, ladies and gentlemen, dream, don't be lazy about it. Do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. Right? And take risks, yaar. Risk to Spider-Man ko bhi lena padta hai, yaar. When he tries to fly, it's a risk, na? Right? So, confused, should you be feeling useless? Trust me to feel, because every person who's become awesome in life has the earliest you go through this confused, you will come out of it, because you can't make a flyover. You have to go through it. Go through this confused state. Congratulations, you're going through it, because it's over and you're very close to your awesomeness. A baby mosquito, when it goes for its flight and returns from his first flight and comes, and his dad asks, how is it? He says, Dad, it was fantastic. Almost all humans, they clapped for me. Right? So be fanatically positive. One life, bunk the junk thoughts, actions will automatically happen, and the beyond the world will see. One life, rise and shine. Thank you so very much.